In and out. I think some of the biggest purposes for why we hold these scrimmages are for guys to still work on fine-tuning their game. Know your guys now. What's he like to do? The game's got so many different variables that when things present themselves, be it a bunt situation, maybe throwing a particular pitch combination to a right-handed hitter or a left-handed hitter, just read him like you did. Make the decision if you're either going to go down or out with it. Whatever it might be, each guy knows what he needs to work on. Nate, we just talked about it your last time. You got a short game guy up there. Hey, got to bounce off, field your position. Jaker, you guys may want to have a conversation in there about what down really means. You know, when we ask for the ball down and away and he throws that thing up and in and gets squared up, I mean, the other thing is maybe a little more focus with rebound runs. You guys work to score him a run, and then he goes right back out there and just rolls over with a leadoff single, lets him bunt him over, wild pitches him to third, and then, creates a whole mess for himself. He doesn't need those things. He needs a little more focus and concentration on, hey, let's get this leadoff guy. We need to remain competitive. We need to make sure that guys are operating at optimal levels, because sometimes you're going to be feeling pretty good when you go out there. And other days you're not going to feel your best. You may have to make it work at 80, 90%. It's a far cry from down and away, isn't it? There's certainly a lot of ups and downs that baseball has to offer, and some of the guys are going to have to go out there and play when they're not at their best. He just got undressed by one up the middle, and then he goes elevated fastball to the wall oppo, and you're saying, hey, we got two, letting him go right back up there and crank on the third one. This guy's liable to run one out of the parking lot. That's probably, I think, the biggest thing is seeing how guys will deal with adversity, because you're going to go 0 for 4 in this game. Let's see how you respond the next day. You're going to go out there and maybe get chased in the 4th or 5th. Let's see how you respond the next time out. It's out of here. We're going to have to get the ball down. If you'd have got the ball down to Montgomery, it would have been strike 3, but because it's up, he lived the whole time on the outer half, and he's diving to cover because he can't. That's what he's supposed to do with 2 strikes. And then you go and just try to ram it in there, and you miss up. You just pitch it down. Okay. Just throw it down. You don't have to power it in there. Maybe if you're a closer, you're going to blow a save. You'll probably get the ball the next day. We'll call it a day with that, and we'll bring it back tomorrow. Okay? Process it, learn from it, make the adjustments for tomorrow. Got it? That's how it works. So we're just trying to make sure that guys are still staying in the fight, staying engaged, and doing the things necessary that we feel are necessary to win. You make those guys hit the change, they're going to commit to it. The change of speed is going to get the barrel out in front of the hands alone. But you're just getting yourself in fastball counts because you're not making them honor anything else. You're running through the same problems that he is today. You're just behind in the count, and then when you offer something soft, then you even dig a deeper ditch. Strike 1. Strike 1's going to make the game a lot easier for you, especially when you start commanding the soft stuff. Trust the speed differential front to back. That's the timing thing. That's all pitching is. Disrupt their rhythm, disrupt their timing. Looking at our staff and the potential ups and downs that they will go through because we do have some youth. Again, I try to remind them it's just baseball. That's the most important thing, is just make pitches. Sell that fastball to them, and then next thing you know, they'll get committed to that. Really let that barrel get out in front of their hands on that change. Instead of a fly ball, you're going to get a swing and miss or a weak ground ball. Okay? Work ahead. Work ahead. In these scrimmages, I think that some of those things that are going to go on during the season are going to present an opportunity for kids to learn. They're going to have success and see why they had success, and hopefully we can duplicate that in game situations when it does count. 1, it's up. That's why he's able to hit it in the gap with authority. And 2, he's in 2-strike mode, so he's got to protect. So you can afford to work that thing to a little bit of the edge more than you did, because he showed you 2-1. He was looking out over the plate by taking the fastball. So now we go to double it up. You just walk the dog in there a little bit more and see if he bites. If he doesn't, then we just go to location one side or the other and win it 3-2. Okay? And other times, dealing with adversity. When kids are going to struggle with commanding a particular pitch or having a hard time pitching that day with runners on base, these scrimmages are offering us plenty of opportunities to see where kids are going to succeed and where they're going to have some shortcomings. What do you feel comfortable with getting right-handers out? Because, we're just grasping at straws over here. Breaking balls in the foot twice, change-ups elevated and guys hit it in the outfield. Fastball climb up, we try to get it out of there. Earlier in the game, you're offering me no option to get a right-hander out with. That, I think, from a pitching standpoint, is more easy to navigate, just because if those situations present themselves in a game, we know what adjustments we have to make, as opposed to just going in there with hoping that things are going to work out. So these scrimmages afford us the opportunity really to get a better feel for our guys and an understanding of what situations suit them best. So, I mean, what's the thought process behind fastball in on done in that situation?
Down and in.
In an offensive count? It's 1-0. 1-0, you're going fastball with a guy whose best bolt is to turn and burn to a part of the yard that plays offensive more than any other part of our yard. 3-1, I stood here and told Cav what was coming. He's one of our better hitters, and what does he do? Grounds out on a pitch where? The game's not going to change. You got to pick your spots when they go in. There's 3 left-handers in the game of baseball that I've seen that have been able to survive in the inner half. Al Leiter, when he's going 94, 98. Randy Johnson, who's just different than everybody. And Pettit, when his cutter was just vicious. And even now, when his stuff's backed off, he's had to go the other side. So we're talking about, in all the game of baseball, 3 guys that have been able to just live in there. You've got to command this side of the plate. Get the fast on this side, get the change on this side, get your stuff working so that in fastball counts, guys will do what Cav did. Instead of a senior, who you know is a good hitter, who's sitting in the middle of our lineup, doesn't turn on you and then put himself in scoring position with one swing. Boy, I think this team's extremely excited to look across the field and see some different faces. I know that they'll be challenged. That's always going to happen at the beginning of the season. It doesn't matter if you play a team who's had their struggles last year or is maybe a defending national champion. It's a new team, and I know that they'll give us their best effort just because of the uniform that we're wearing. People have come to know Oregon State from their recent success, and I think when you look at the prolonged success that this program's had at turning out quality players, and our guys are certainly ready to go out and establish themselves and hopefully take that next step into being part of something special.